Hi, and welcome back to Wisdom from the Angels. Hi, I'm Carolyn. Thank you for joining today. And if you're new, welcome, 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 welcome to the tribe, welcome to the family. And please subscribe and click the bell next to it so you get email notification of new videos as they're uploaded. And don't forget to give me a like as well, okay? And if you're someone who's returning, welcome back. I'm so grateful that you returned and thank you for showing up. And if this video that I do today resonates with you, please share it with someone that you think it can help. All right? Here on the channel, we're all about the angels and how they can support us and guide us in our life. And I hope that you are enjoying it. I also want you to look at the other video that I have up also that is probably premiering while we're doing this taping is Angel Series. So September is also known as Angel Month. And so every day throughout the month of September, I'm going to be talking about another angel. So for the first week, I talked about angels and why they're important and all of that good stuff and how to use them, how to connect with them. Then I've been talking about individual angels every single day. And for this weekend, we have Angel Ariel and Angel Daniel and Angel Raphael. Raphael, known as the Divine Physician. Okay? So it comes in really handy, especially with the date on the calendar that today is. Alrighty? So today, and I always announce which decks I'm using. Today we're going to be using Angel Power, and that is by Gay Guthrie. And we're going to be using an oldie but goodie, the Oracle cards, Archangel Oracle cards, by Doreen Virtue. We're also going to be using Talking to Heaven by James Van Praagh, and Messages from the Guides, also by James Van Praagh. So we're going to get into this message. It's maybe a little longer than my normal videos because this is for the weekend, and it is going to be the weekend of 9/11. And I really want people who are dealing with that weekend who had loss. I didn't have any loss in my family, but I did have friends who had losses. My heart goes out to each and every one of you. And I send you prayers and the angels to surround you and to comfort you. I also, I channel messages from the angels too, so sometimes they start talking to me while I'm talking. So if you see me pause and you're new on the channel, that's what's going on. They're telling me, get on with the reading. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to get started with the reading for today, and we're going to start with Angel Power, okay? And I'm going to take a minute and just shuffle. And on the some of the series, you'll see my co-hosts, and some of my readings, you'll see my co-hosts, Lady and Coco, my puppies, and they are sometimes want to get up and see what's happening, what's going on up there. So, yeah. And so, angels, what's the message for today? Oh, okay, one's already coming out, okay. Angels, what is the message for today? Angels, what's the message for today? Okay, another one's coming out, okay. All right, so angels, what is the message for today? Angels, okay. Angels, what is the message for today? Angels, what is the message for today? Angels, what is the message for today? Angels, 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 what would you like for us to know today? Okay, all right, a bunch of them fell out, and they're saying take the bottom one. I did. Okay, I'm not going to take all of these. We'd be here all day. Okay, so let's see what the message is for today. All right, so, wow, let's see what came out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, as I said earlier, one of the angels for this weekend is Raphael. And that is also showing up in the reading. And I'm going to just lay them out here because we have 6 cards that came out. include the bottom one. Okay. Okay, put it here. Okay. All right. Okay, so the first card that comes out is Archangel Raphael. Raphael, he's showing up a lot today, so healing is needed somewhere. And it says Raphael helps you heal in mind, body, and spirit. And I'm hearing that allow the miracles to happen. There are miracles that are coming up. Call in Archangel Raphael. Set aside the questions of when is it coming, how is it coming. Set aside expectations of how these miracles will show up in your life. But miracles are on the horizon, they're saying. And to allow light in the hope. And the message here is hope gives us positive feelings and energy to accomplish what we desire. So if you put something out there that you truly desire and you've been wondering when is it going to show up, allow it to happen in its own time. But you can also call in Archangel Raphael and ask for assistance around healing any wounds that are still open, healing any kind of feelings of unworthiness, not being enough, any kind of feelings of feeling persecuted. When we have lower vibrational feelings going on and emotions, embrace them, feel them. For a moment, set them to the side and ask Archangel Raphael to help you with dealing with those emotions. Okay? Raphael, when Raphael shows up, I see green. I see beautiful green light and golden green light. And it's all about allowing yourself to believe that you are worthy of healing. Allow yourself to really embrace the idea that you can heal. If there's a relationship that's gone awry for whatever reason, instead of looking at the blame or to shame someone or to make someone or belittle someone, set that aside, because it takes two to have a relationship, or three or four or five. And if this is a family situation, set those feelings aside and look at what can be good for the good of the family or the good of the relationships. And if it's a love relationship, stop and think, has it outused? Has its shelf life come? Is it time to move on? Is it time to let this one go? They're talking so fast today. And also they're saying you can call on Archangel Chamuel and allow for healthy relationships. And many times we look for relationships, or we look for clarity around a relationship, and we set our goals and our expectations as what should be the outcome. And the angels, if you allow them to come in and work miracles in your life, possibilities can open up for healing, and for healing for everyone. When you're healing, doesn't necessarily mean that you don't want to keep beating up on each other. You want to move forward. But part of that moving forward is unconditional love, and allowing people to show up and be who they are, and allowing people to show up and be who they are without judgment. And sometimes people show up and they surprise you, and other times they may show up and they don't, and it really is hurtful. Remember, you've had a history with this person, and has your entire history throughout all of your relationship with them been hurtful? Probably not, because you wouldn't be having a long-term relationship with them. And they're saying, look at the beautiful souls that are there. And it says, you inspire and uplift others. And like you inspire and uplift others, others may be inspiring and uplifting you. And instead of doing the shame blame game, because that's easy, maybe take a moment and step back and go, I wonder what's going on with this person. Maybe I know I'm upset. I know I'm pissed off. My feelings are hurt. But maybe there's something else going on with this person. And maybe reach out to find out what it is. Or how can you support them at this time? I know in my own life I've forgiven and forgiven and forgiven and really wondered what was going on with the person, went to them and asked and got my head taken off again and forgave again. And it gets to a point where when you keep forgiving and forgiving and forgiving and you still keep getting the same response, or you still keep getting hurtful response, that you have to step back and go, wait, how much more of this can I allow in my life? How much more of this is going to be healthy for me? And at some point you may decide for a while you need to step away. You may decide for a longer while this isn't working and I don't need this in my life. People who make that choice come to the table, have a conversation. That's called having a healthy relationship. You're putting barriers on someone else or telling them how they should act or how they should show up in the world. It means you're not accepting who they are. You're not accepting their value. You're not accepting what they can bring to the table. So the next card that comes up that addresses that is forgiveness. How can you forgive others when you have been hurt? First, start with forgiving yourself. And the message here is forgiveness. This I have to put glasses on. Forgiveness is the first step toward letting go of hurt and emotional pain. It heals only you. And that's who needs the healing the most. Start to forgive. Forgive yourself. And you may say, well, I don't have anything to forgive myself for. I didn't do anything wrong. And you may be right. You may be right. There is a sacred prayer that can be said, or mantra, if the word prayer triggers you. And it's called Ho'oponopono. And it's an ancient, excuse me a moment. Thought this phone was off. Sorry about that. It's an ancient Hawaiian practice called Ho'oponopono. And it uses the 4 phrases, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Now, it's understandable if someone has really upset you that you may not be in a mood to say I love you. And it may be that you're still hurting too much to say I love you. But you can also say it, look at it from this vantage point. Say it's a relationship that has gone awry. And it could be, say, at work. And at one point in time, you and your office mate were really good friends, and all of a sudden you don't know what happened. But you can say, I'm sorry I judged you. Thank you, universe, for bringing this to my attention. See the difference? That shifts that. And it takes you out of victim mode. Okay? Then you can say, you know what? I really appreciate knowing this. I am so grateful and thankful that I got to learn this and experience this, because while it was hurtful, I learned a lot. I learned some good lessons. I learned some new life strategies. Please forgive me can be for yourself. I'm forgiving myself. Oh my goodness. Please forgive me. I really messed up. I wasn't having a great day. I took something the wrong way. I was extra sensitive that day. Or maybe the way you responded to me triggered me in some way. So there are ways that we can let go of our burdens because they are ours. And we can ask the angels for assistance. And that's one of the great things about Raphael's help, asking for the assistance. And it says, time out. Take time for a much needed break and relax. So I just got off the phone with my virtual assistant that I truly love. She lives in Arizona. I'm in California. And we were talking about things, and we were saying at the end that we both are going to just take the weekend off. And I said, yes, as of 4 o'clock today, I am shutting everything down, and Monday morning I'll pick everything back up. But until then, I am not available. I am phones off, computers off, devices are off unless I have an appointment with you. And I think I have one tomorrow morning. And you need to do that every now and again because it allows you to shift. It allows you to gain perspective. I'm doing it because next week is my birthday. And next Saturday is my birthday, I believe, the 19th. And I usually do a reflection of the year. And this has been a year. A year ago today, on 9/11, I left New York. And I drove across country with my co-host, Lady and Coco, in the back seat. And we took our time. Took us 10 days. We stayed over in in St. Louis and Scottsdale, 2 nights. And I wasn't in a rush. I didn't have a certain to get to California. I knew I was coming, so I just took my time and drove my little self across country. And I had a day-to-day schedule, and I'll do a video about that another day. But it's saying take time out. One of the other good things to do when we follow all of this and we talk to Raphael and we get assistance and we do forgiveness, even if we're just forgiving ourselves. If I forgive myself for how I reacted, that in of itself is a lot. Back to forgiveness. In my office, and when I was in DC, I had an office right off DuPont Circle. And I had a backpack, and I had a pile of rocks. And I'd say to my clients when they come in for life coaching, and we'd be working on, emotions that are coming up, and I'd say, for each emotion you're having that you can name, put a rock in the backpack. So they would, and I'd say, is that it? And they'd say, yeah. And I'd say, okay. Zip it up, put it on. And they're like, this is heavy. Well, imagine carrying that around invisibly every single day. That is what you're doing when you're carrying around guilt, upset, anxiety, stress, anger, betrayal, resentment. When you stop to think about all the energy that you're putting into those emotions, put that on your back and walk around with it. It's uncomfortable. Let's shift out of being the victim. Let's shift out of narcissistic behavior. Let's shift out of blaming and shaming and judging into acceptance, into it is what it is. Now, in that, what is it that I find that is going to work for me? That's a different way of looking at life, and it's a different way of looking at a situation. And we all have these situations from time to time. So take a moment today and really, and especially over this weekend. This is 9/11. You know why we look at this as a day off or a holiday in this country. It is also known as Patriots' Day. Yes, people take the time this weekend. Give yourself permission to just sit and be with where you are right now. We're also at the beginning of the final quarter of the year. And this year flew, even with all the chaos and uncertainty and all of that. This year has flown. We're now in September. It's almost mid-September. And we don't have that many more weeks before the election and the end of the year. So stop and think about that. Think about where you were a year ago. Think about how much you've grown since then. Think about how you would like to move forward. And start to think about what would you like 2021 to look like for you. It's not too early to think about it because you can now begin to prepare for 2021 instead of waiting until it's New Year's Eve and going, oh my goodness, New Year tomorrow, can't wait. And then when it comes, you're like, oh my goodness, like everyone did from 2019 to 2020. If you were paying attention, you knew there was going to be some big stuff this year. And it wasn't necessarily going to be celebratory. We are going to get through this. This is going to pass. This is going to be a big chapter in American history, because this is unprecedented. But we also can find ourselves at a place where we can begin to look at, yes, it's happened. How can I keep myself safe and healthy? And what measures do I need to take if it's prolonged? And I can call on Raphael when I start to feel down in the dumps, or I start to not feel good physically. Raphael is the divine physician for the mind, body, and spirit. So call on Raphael whenever you are starting to feel depressed, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling stress, when you're feeling any emotion that is taking you away from joy, peace, and serenity and harmony. Okay? So, that is your message for today, for this weekend, to really call on Archangel Raphael and make sure you remember that you are a light of hope to someone in the world. Somewhere, someone in the world, you are a light of hope. And it could just be your family. That's not small. That isn't. And that we are all beautiful souls on this earth. And we are all here at any point in time attempting to do our best. Now, some other people will say, no, it wasn't. That wasn't your best. Because I heard that once when I said to someone, well, I tried to do my best. No, you weren't. And they started fussing at me. And I said, at that moment in time, that's where I was. And that was the best I could do. That doesn't mean that tomorrow I can't do better. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not showing up the way you thought you were showing up. Forgive yourself. And be careful. Be very careful when you put people in boxes and you write them off. Because the person you write off today and let go of can be the very person you will need at some point in your life. And remember, call on Chamuel. Chamuel can bring you more and more and more healing and healthy relationships. And a healthy relationship looks like acceptance, unconditional love. It looks like, you know what, let's have a conversation. I'm not going to put you off. I'm not going to ghost you. I'm not going to make you the problem. I'm going to have a healthy adult conversation. Because what are you modeling for kids if you're constantly saying, ugh, I don't like what you did. I don't want anything else to do with you. What do you think you're modeling? What do you think you're modeling? You're not modeling love. That's for darn sure. And if someone judged you by the same stick that you used on other people, how would that feel? Think about that. All right? And take time out. Take time out and really begin to assess, heal, rest, relax, okay? And begin to really understand that by doing all of those things, you can manifest success. This was the last card that came out. And the message on this card is, master your destiny by making use of your skills. Harness the creative forces to bring about success and achieve your goals. And you see the beautiful angels and cherubs there. You see them over this little beautiful village or city. It looks like a little village on the side of the mountains. But we can have heaven here on earth. We can have paradise here on earth. It is a choice we make. It is not dictated by someone else. It is a choice you make. This is your life. Wake up. As my mother-in-law used to say, no day is promised. And you never know when it is your last day. So, please, stop for a moment. Take the time to relax and refresh your mind. Take the time to reflect. And perhaps shift. And begin to really live your life from a place of true happiness. Okay, that's the message for today. And I hope, and for this weekend, and I hope that you are safe. I hope that you are healthy. And anyone that is in the way of fires here on the Pacific coast. We are having fires all the way up and down the coast. Anyone who's dealing with that, please call in the angels to help you. They will surround you. They will love you and embrace you. And my heart goes out to anyone who is dealing with the fires, the losses of 9/11, and anyone who is in any kind of pain. If you'd like additional support, send me an email. Put in the subject, need help, or a heart. I promise I'll get back to you. I also offer 15-minute chat-free sessions where we can start talking about how you may look for support in your own community. Or if you'd like to work with me, I am an energy intuitive, and I do distance and remote healing sessions, energy sessions, and I also do angel card readings. And you may not know what those are, so send me an email and we'll set up a 15-minute chat-free time, and let's see how we can move forward together. Okay? That's it for me for today. I hope that each and every one of you has more love, more joy, more peace than your heart can ever hold. And I hope that you are surprised with a miracle in your life very soon.